according to some new data from Coinmetrics and reported at CoinDesk, non-fungible token trading is still doing pretty well with some 6,000 trades per day over the past week on the largest NFT marketplace, OpenSea. So that's kind of trailing against the trends for like searches of NFTs on Google. So if you look over the last few months, you'll see that NFTs, like NFT mania, really spiked in March of this year. But trading for these NFTs, whether they be Bored Apes or Pudgy Penguins, are up even higher than they were previously during the year, which leads Coinmetrics to believe that there could be a lot more higher highs to come. And there you go. You got some Pudgy Penguins on the right, which have done really well recently. In fact, they made it to the New York Times. So that's a big win for the Penguins. Zach, what do you think about Pudgy Penguins? How many do you have?
I think they're so cute. I have no Pengu. I will, full disclosure, my Twitter avatar right now is a sup duck. So I do have a couple of NFTs. But yeah, it's interesting to see this take off. Though. I mean, hey man, whoa, dude, I like it. It speaks to me. It speaks to me. I like the little dog.
What is that? Soft dog. Is that like a Solana NFT?
No.
Oh my
it's
god!
Why are you throwing so much shade today? It's not
like so much
Solana out of it.
Stop attacking my cute little sub duck, okay? God. Anyway, yeah, I blame. Honestly, I think like when Stani Kulichov changed his Twitter profile to a Pengu, I think that really kicked it into overdrive. So anyway, it's interesting to see these things happen. I'm kind of glad that we were proven wrong that this whole NFT thing had legs, right? Like, it's interesting to see these communities rally around these and for it to keep going. I mean, we saw Super Rare, which is a competing NFT platform, just do a governance token drop yesterday, the Rare token. Decentralizing the platform a little bit and giving more control to people who have used it in the past. Would be interesting to see if something is in the cards like that for OpenSea going forward. Rarible, of course, did this a while ago with the Rari token. So yeah, the NFT world is kind of figuring itself out and is rallying these little communities around these drops. You know, people are sort of like on the prowl for the next new hot mint that, you know, people can get in on. And these are just these little like crypto social communities of people who are like, I don't know, motivated by the same aesthetic choices or something. So anyway, interesting to see it pumping so much. I don't know, like, yeah, it's jumping onto other chains. Like Solana had like an ape NFT drop that went really well over the weekend after some initial technical challenges. But yeah, all in all, the NFT thing is quite remarkable to see as people ape into these things.
What side are you guys on? Pengus or apes?
Yeah, who's a Pengu and who's team Pengu and who's team ape? Let's go to Jen.
If I could afford a Pengu, I'd be a Pengu guy.
Yeah, I'm Pengu. Naomi?
She's an ape.
Naomi's gonna say subduck.
She hesitated.
Zach's profile. I want to see his dog.
Oh my god!
He has a newspaper hat on. Okay, because I'm a newsman. See, newspaper hat.
Oh my god!
Zach, I'm with Will here.
You see that?
Yeah, that's lame.
Tired newspaper hat. Potentially stoned subduck. I'm into it, man. I'm into it. Thank you.
We love
Yacht,
you anyways.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Those Yats are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Yats.
Yats are super cool.
I got all the tchotchkes. I got all the pieces of flair out there. So anyway.
Absolutely. I did want to mention an interesting point was brought up in this article about the Penguins, because NFTs, they're priced in Ether a lot of the time. That's generally where a lot of the NFT action is happening, even though, as we mentioned, it is expanding to other chains. But rises in ETH prices, that may deter people from getting involved when NFT prices suddenly go through the roof, right? But on the other side of things, when you have all of these new NFT sales, like that would attract new users as well. Like, does the movement in price in Ethereum, is that helping or hurting new people getting involved with NFTs? Because if people are seeing the price of Ether go up, they probably want to be gobbling up more of these NFTs. And so, like, it could work either way. I'm just not quite sure how the game theory plays out. What are your thoughts, Phil?
No, that's a great point that was brought up in the article, that as the price of Ether increases, it costs more to get into the NFT game. But if the price of Ether increases, more people are likely to get into the NFT game because they want everything that's priced in Ether. And so, like, if you have a Bored Ape or whatever and it's priced in Ether, price of Ether goes up, the value of your random JPEG also goes up. I don't know where that kind of ends. I think that we saw with Binance Smart Chain earlier this year that there was like a lot of NFT drops on that chain, and that kind of acted as like a substitute good of sorts for NFTs. But at the same time, it's like on a different chain, and nobody seems to like them as much as like the main chain NFTs. So don't really have an answer for you, but dynamic kind of play out.
Just off the back of that, Will, too, we compare Google searches to the actual trading volume and NFTs. And I don't know that you can really do that, because I think people are hearing a lot about NFTs and searching for them, and maybe seeing that the ETH price is so high, or they're not entirely sure how to get involved and, you know, set up a wallet and do all of the things you need to do to get an NFT. And so I guess the interest is there, and maybe that signals that there are still barriers to entry for our mainstream audience and the people who understand how to operate and who love NFTs and who have held ETH for a really long time or playing in it, and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I would say that there are like the mainstream ones too, right? We have this Tom Brady autograph thing that like went live on DraftKings, which is a pretty mainstream venue that very much abstracts the blockchain process from these drops. I mean, let's be real, for a lot of people, these are speculative assets that are rapidly growing in value that you can get at a low price and sell at a high price. And that is always attractive to people who are in the space for a long time and people who are potentially considering joining the space. So we'll have to see.
And they're so
we'll have to see
fun.
about this whole NFT thing. And some of them are cute, especially those penguins.